Andre Fletcher's incredible journey begins in La Grenada, a town with a population of barely 1,000 people. It is so small that you could walk across it in 20 minutes. In just 12 years, he goes from zero to cricket's biggest stage hit. Subscribe now, because I'm about to reveal the truth behind those false $6 million mansion claims. Fletcher was born on November 28, 1987, in a world where his dreams of being a cricket star seemed unattainable. Here's something you don't hear about Fletcher's childhood. He didn't have access to expensive equipment or prestigious coaches. In fact, his first bat was likely borrowed. While kids in major cricketing nations like India and Australia had access to state-of-the-art training facilities, Fletcher had to rely on his grit, determination, and natural talent to master the game. By the time he was 16 years old, he was already 6 feet 4 inches tall, had reflexes like lightning, and his hands were like magnets, catching every ball that came his way. Fletcher's life took a dramatic turn in 2004 when, at the tender age of 17, he made his first-class debut for the Windward Islands against Trinidad and Tobago. Facing grown men who had been playing professional cricket for years, most teenagers would have been terrified. Local cricket coaches in Grenada took notice of this towering teenager who could catch anything and hit the ball with serious power. The fascinating part of Fletcher's story begins here. He didn't suddenly become famous. Rather, he spent 4 years playing domestic cricket, gradually building his reputation. During that time, he wasn't hitting huge sixes or making spectacular catches that went viral. He was just consistently good. Fletcher's breakthrough came in 2008, when the selectors from the West Indies finally selected him for a one-day international against Australia. This wasn't any team, though. Australia boasted some of the world's top cricketers. Fletcher's debut international match was terrifying, but he managed to stay afloat, proving to everyone that this reserved young man from Grenada could hold his own on the world stage. Fletcher's international career got off to a shaky start, with him playing in a handful of matches here and there before being recalled or dropped. This is par for the course for most cricketers, but for someone hailing from a small island like Grenada, every opportunity was priceless, and a single misstep could have ended his career. After being cut from the team, Fletcher reverted to domestic cricket and worked even harder. When given another opportunity, he jumped at it. This pattern continued for years. Each time, he would work hard, perform, and then be cut again. Eventually, the true Andre Fletcher showed through. Here's something that will blow your mind about Zooks Fletcher's early T20 career. He played for St. Lucia in the Caribbean Premier League, where he was able to showcase his talents. The format of the game was ideal for his quick reflexes behind the stumps, smart batting, and ability to read the game fast. Fletcher's success in the CPL opened doors to other 2020 leagues, as other teams failed to recognize his quiet Grenada background and assumed he would crumble under pressure. Instead, Fletch scored runs when his team needed them most, took catches that saved matches, and stumped batsmen so fast that replays had to be watched in slow motion. Leagues worldwide. Teams from all over the globe were vying for the services of this dependable Caribbean wicketkeeper batsman. As his reputation soared with each tournament, cricket experts began to hail him as one of the game's most underrated players. What set Fletcher apart from other 2020 specialists, though, was his unwavering commitment to the game's fundamentals, while his peers tended to lose sight of them. For Fletcher, 2016 was a watershed moment in West Indies cricket. Players were arguing with the board over money, and the team was losing matches. He focused solely on hitting big sixes, but he also worked on his technique, fitness, and game awareness. He studied bowlers like a detective, learning their patterns and weaknesses. As a result of this preparation, he became lethal in crucial moments. At 28 years old, Fletcher was chosen as the wicket-keeper for the 2020 World Cup in India. It seemed like another tournament where the West Indies would let their fans down. The pressure was immense, as millions of Caribbean cricket fans were hoping for a breakthrough performance from Fletcher. The West Indies were off to a shaky start in the tournament, coming dangerously close to elimination in the group stage. Despite solid catching from Fletcher, the team was having trouble scoring runs. Meanwhile, cricket fans at home were losing faith, and West Indies cricket was the subject of many negative comments on social media. The pressure was on for every player, but then the miraculous happened. There's a story from that tournament that shows how the players suddenly stopped caring about contracts and money disputes and started playing cricket like kids having fun. Fletcher played a pivotal role in this change by reminding everyone in team meetings why they started playing cricket: for the love of the game, not for money or fame. As the younger players sobbed in the locker room following a crushing loss in the group stage, Fletcher rose to his feet and delivered a speech that changed their fate. He recounted his rise from a small Grenada village to the pinnacle of cricket, and he emphasized that they were playing on behalf of millions of Caribbean fans. Fletcher did the unsung work that wins tournaments. His keeping was spot on, with no missed catches or stumpings, and his batting offered stability when the big hitters failed, and he was frequently ignored by those who believed in him and his speech, which turned the tournament around. Meanwhile, Chris Gayle was getting all the attention for his big sixes. With home field advantage and the world's top 2020 team on the other side, Fletcher bowled like his life depended on it. The West Indies prevailed and advanced to the Eden Gardens final, where they would face England. With 80,000 spectators in the stadium and millions more watching on TV, Fletcher departed. As he watched Carlos Brathwaite come out to bat, Fletcher became a cricket legend with 4 consecutive sixes, helping England win the World Cup. The West Indies needed 19 runs in the final over, which was a challenging but not impossible target. Fletcher was in the dressing room, but the moment had come. The Caribbean erupted in jubilation as Fletcher, a modest man from Grenada, stepped onto the pitch, his eyes welling up with tears. His greatest ambition had come true. He had become a hero thanks to the World Cup. What's truly remarkable, though, is that he refused to let his success alter his character and his community. We reached the point where we must address the false internet reports regarding Fletcher's net worth of $6 million. Let's face it, Caribbean cricketers don't make millions like players in India or England. Fletcher's career earnings likely amount to a few $100,000 over 15 years, which is decent money for someone from Grenada, but it's not enough to buy a mansion and supercar. It's not about the money Fletcher has made. It's about the respect he received from cricket fans around the world, about the inspiration he gave to young players from underdeveloped nations, and about showing that talent and perseverance are more important than origin. After the World Cup, Fletcher kept playing for the West Indies and formed a successful T20 partnership with Chris Gayle. A powerful opening combination in 2020 cricket, with Gayle providing the power and Fletcher providing the stability. The duo scored thousands of runs for the West Indies. Little is known about the amount of research that went into this partnership. Fletcher and Gayle spent hours studying bowling attacks together, and they even came up with signals to communicate during matches. They set a number of records for 2020 international cricket, including the highest opening partnership for the West Indies in T20s. Fletcher learned to read Gayle's mood and adjust his batting accordingly. When Gayle was aggressive, he played a supporting role. When Gayle was struggling, he took charge and led the attack. They scored runs in all conditions, from slow turning pitches from slow, bouncy tracks in India to fast, bouncy ones in Australia. Their consistency made them one of the most feared opening pairs in world cricket. Fletcher's wicket-keeping technique is second to none. He positions himself perfectly, moves his feet swiftly, and has hands that are softer than silk. Upcoming wicket-keepers watch instructional videos of Fletcher to learn the ropes from his example. Many look up to Fletcher as a model of wicket-keeping, but his success was due to more than just his technique. Fletcher possessed an extraordinary cricket brain and could predict when batsmen would try to hit big shots, when they would get frustrated, or when they would make mistakes. With this information, he could position himself perfectly and capitalize on his opponent's mistakes. Carry out stumpings that appeared impossible. His batting style is straightforward but effective. He plays each ball according to its merit rather than trying to hit every ball for six, and he scores runs reliably. What truly sets Fletcher apart, though, is his ability to handle pressure well in pivotal matches when his team needs someone to remain composed and execute their job correctly, and he never lets anyone down. Fletcher's calming demeanor, lack of carelessness, and unwavering commitment to the team's success made him an invaluable asset for more than a decade. In a 2012 T20 World Cup match between Sri Lanka and Australia, a must-win group match, Fletcher stepped in with a winning run when his team was 5 wickets down with 10 overs to spare. Fletcher's composed innings was the deciding factor in the West Indies' 3-wicket victory. Despite not being born with the natural ability to handle pressure, he trained with sports psychologists to build mental strength and played smart cricket by taking singles, finding gaps, and gradually bringing the target within reach. Meditation and visualization techniques helped Fletcher mentally prepare for big matches. He would sit quietly and imagine different scenarios, making him one of the most reliable players in high-pressure situations. Fletcher's impact on West Indies cricket extended beyond his individual performances. He was also a mentor. During his prime, Fletcher was also diligently studying the game, watching videos of successful wicket-keepers from around the world. He helped younger players adjust to international cricket, taught them about preparation and professionalism, and encouraged them to proudly represent the Caribbean. Players like Nicholas Pooran and Shimron Hetmyer have spoken about this. Fletcher had a tremendous impact on Grenada cricket. Prior to him, no one from the city had achieved success at the international level. By studying various batting techniques and collaborating with coaches to enhance certain parts of his game, he remained competitive even as younger players came up. Grenada's cricket facilities were upgraded as a result of Fletcher's success, and young people now have faith in their own abilities to reach the highest levels of the sport. In 2018, while visiting a primary school in Grenada, a 10-year-old boy asked Fletcher about being famous and wealthy after winning the World Cup. Fletcher's response shocked everyone. Fletcher routinely donated cricket equipment to schools in Grenada, funded coaching clinics for young players, and even built a small cricket ground in his home. He explained that real wealth comes from having the opportunity to represent your country and inspire others. The boy is now playing junior cricket and dreams of following in his footsteps. Fletcher knows that he can't be successful unless he helps other people reach their goals. Contrary to what you might read online, Caribbean cricketers do make decent money, but it's still nothing compared to players in major leagues. His contributions to the village of Lat-Anti don't make headlines, but they change lives every day. Cricket Nation's Fletcher's international career lasted for more than a decade, but he was rarely a starter and earned only a few $1,000s annually, not millions, from match fees, small contracts, and infrequent endorsements. The World Cup win was likely Fletcher's largest windfall. The prize money from the tournament was divided among the entire squad and support staff. Fletcher received approximately $50,000 of that, which is good money for someone from Grenada. However, it isn't enough to buy supercars and mansions. In reality, Fletcher still lives modestly in Grenada. He owns a comfortable house, not a mansion, and drives a regular car, not an exotic one. Fletcher's batting style changed drastically over his career. In his early days, he focused on staying at the crease and was a defensive batsman. As 2020 cricket became more important, he began to attack the ball more aggressively. Now, he lives like a normal guy who happens to be really good at cricket. His humility is what makes him so respected in the Caribbean. Improved his power hitting, learned new shots, and became more aggressive in his approach. This adaptation allowed him to extend his career by several years. The true story of Andre Fletcher is one of perseverance, humility, and staying true to your roots. He could have left Grenada behind when he moved to a big country, but he never forgot his roots. Originating from Grenada, Fletcher frequently visits schools, speaks with young cricketers, and supports local cricket development. His dedication to the island extends beyond philanthropic work. He has been instrumental in building cricket infrastructure, having lobbied the government to improve facilities, and bringing international coaches to Grenada to collaborate with local. He went to great lengths to persuade his West Indies teammates to hold coaching clinics in Grenada. The result? The youth cricket teams in Grenada are doing better in regional tournaments, and some of their players are even getting opportunities to play on other Caribbean islands. The dream of having another international player from Grenada is becoming a reality. Fletcher, a cricketer from Grenada, is getting more down-to-earth every year. Unlike other athletes, he doesn't use social media to flaunt his money and lifestyle, but rather to promote cricket and encourage young people. His posts typically include cricket techniques, motivational messages, or the accomplishments of young people. As Fletcher prepares to retire from playing cricket, he is already thinking about his next move. He has taken several coaching courses and is interested in working with young players across the Caribbean. Ultimately, he hopes to assist other small islands in their cricketing endeavors. Create international cricketers like Grenada's Fletcher is nearing the end of his career, but his impact will live on. Fletcher demonstrated that even small countries can produce world-class cricketers. He disproved the notion that talent, hard work, and the courage to pursue one's dreams are necessary for success. His rise from lat ante to World Cup winner is an inspiration to all who hear it. Andre Fletcher continues to be a respected figure in Caribbean cricket, mentoring young players, and working with cricket development programs. One more story that perfectly captures his character happened in 2021 during the COVID pandemic, when many families in Grenada were struggling financially due to tourism. The program fed over 200 families for 3 months. When local media wanted to interview Fletcher about it, he politely declined. As a man who never forgets where he came from, Fletcher quietly organized a food distribution program in his community. He didn't announce it on social media or call press conferences. Instead, he simply helped his neighbors. Andre Fletcher's story exemplifies the difficulties faced by cricketers from small Caribbean islands in contrast to players from big cricketing nations who have it easy. Fletcher declined, saying that helping his community wasn't about receiving praise or recognition, but rather about doing the right thing. His humility and generosity define him more than any cricket statistic could. Fletcher has been outspoken about the need to improve conditions for Caribbean cricketers and ensure they receive fair compensation for their contributions to the sport. However, the false wealth stories surrounding him and other Caribbean cricketers have a negative impact on their reputation and financial stability. When you see those false YouTube videos saying Fletcher owns supercars and mansions, remember his real story. They make young players believe cricket will make them millionaires overnight, when in fact it should be played for the love of the game first and financial rewards second. Keep in mind that the real measure of success isn't wealth or possessions, but rather the influence you have on people and the barriers you dismantle for the benefit of future generations. For example, Andre Fletcher's greatest accomplishment wasn't winning the World Cup or setting records, but rather demonstrating that an impoverished boy from a small island can compete with the world's best through sheer perseverance and The true story of Andre Fletcher is more valuable than a mansion or supercar when it comes to teaching valuable life lessons. If you are in need of motivation to follow your dreams, then I highly recommend watching this video. Fletcher's journey demonstrates that anything is possible when one refuses to give up.